Want a delicious, healthy meal in under 30 minutes? Then please join me today as I prepare my fabulous, jazzy vegetarian meal, and I'm going to do it in under a half hour. Let's get cooking.
Jazzy, you're going to be healthy with the jazzy vegetarian. Jazzy, so snazzy. We're going to cook something healthy and light. Jazzy, so snazzy. So join me in the kitchen right now. We're gonna cook something healthy and light. That's right.
When a quick, healthy meal is on your mind, but you're rushed for time, today's menu offers an ideal solution. My 30-minute vegetarian recipe lineup prepares in less than half an hour, but features tangy pasta dressed with fresh broccoli and organic sun-dried tomatoes, bakery bread with herbed dipping oil, and an avocado-cashew salad. I've even included a refreshing dessert, frozen banana creamy. And can you believe it? Already in under 30 minutes. So let's cook. I want to share this exciting menu plan with you today that's going to take me under 30 minutes. I came up with this one day when I had some broccoli and I had some sun-dried tomatoes and I had some pasta. That's what I had in the house. So I came up with this fabulous recipe. So let's get right to it. We're going to start off by making our pasta. Let's get our water going. I'm going to start it on high and get the water boiling. I've got about 3/4 full and I've salted that water. And then I've got some organic broccoli, which I have washed. And isn't this beautiful? It's so great to buy organic broccoli, and it's so available in many markets today. It's also great to buy broccoli from your local farm market. So we're going to cut this into just fairly medium-sized florets. They don't have to be absolutely perfectly sized. Often people ask, what do I do with this stem? When you've got a big, beautiful stem like this, you can cut off the end and then slice off the fibrous outer covering like that. And then you've got a very tender little broccoli heart, I call it, and you can cut that into little pieces and add that, and it's really delicious in this pasta. You set that aside, start again. Go so quickly cutting the florets. Sometimes I do buy the pre-cut broccoli, and if you're really pressed for time, that's fine for this if you prefer it. But as you can see, it really doesn't take much time at all, and I do like having that broccoli fresh. I'm going to cut the last bit of my broccoli here, and it's nice to cook a meal that's so fresh tasting. And you're going to see how I make it without any cheese. But I have a little trick that I use for that. Once again, when you have a beautiful broccoli stalk like this, can you see the center of that? How it's kind of white? That's what I call the broccoli heart. And it's really delicious when you boil it or saute it. But today, we're going to be making it with our meal. So I'm just going to cut off, as you can see, the fibrous outside. And then I'm left with this beautiful heart. Slice it down the middle, cut it into lengths, and just add it to your broccoli. And look how beautiful that is. And I'll show you how we're going to cook that with the meal. So I've got some organic sun-dried tomatoes. I like to get them when they just are sun-dried tomatoes and the oil and the spices. So we're going to get a bowl and open the tomatoes. They smell absolutely incredible. I like to take them out. I'm just going to chop them up on my board into little slices. You know what I've also used with this? Sometimes I have the sun-dried tomato tapenade, and that works really great. All you have to do is spoon it into the dish. So that's perfect. Just get all those out right there. That's great. Put this aside. And we're just going to do a rough chop on these tomatoes. That's all. No rhyme or reason to it. It's just really easy, and the taste of the tomatoes is just going to be beautifully infused all through our pasta. Wow. I really wish you could smell it. Just dump it right in the bowl. There we go. And just place those sun-dried tomatoes, look how pretty they are, right in the bottom of your mixing bowl. And pasta is great with garlic, right? But when you're short on time, you might not want to bother chopping it up. And for this dish, powdered garlic works just fine. I'm going to use about a 1/4 teaspoon. And of course, if you want to put fresh garlic in, just finely mince about 2 cloves of garlic, and that'll work great. But this is really a fast way to get this going. Just toss it a little bit. Now, in the summer, I like to grow fresh herbs in my garden. And this morning, I picked some fabulous fresh basil. It is so tasty in this dish. And if you don't have fresh herbs, in the middle of winter, what I use is organic Italian dried herbs. 2 teaspoons in this dish. But what I'm using today is the fresh basil instead. So you can really switch it up. You could use parsley if you wanted to. You could use oregano. That would be really, really tasty. But today I'm going to use this basil because it just inspired me. So the sun-dried tomatoes, the powdered garlic or fresh garlic, and any kind of herbs that you like. That's the base of this dish. I have about 15 leaves of basil. I've just rolled them up, kind of ready to get a very nice chiffonade cut. This is what I do. Then you can just slice them right across so they don't get all mushy. And then just slice them the other way around. That's all there is to it. And place that into your bowl. Now we're going to let this all marinate together with a little bit of olive oil for about 15 minutes as we cook the rest of our dish. So let's add some olive oil to it. We're going to start with a tablespoon of olive oil. There we go. That olive oil, that fresh basil, and that wonderful garlic. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You can add more if you like it kind of salty, and a little fresh pepper. And that's all ready to top it with our pasta once we cook it. Stir it around a little bit so all those flavors meld together, and just leave it at room temperature to marinate. That's all there is to it. I'm going to put it back over here and check on my water. Let's get that water boiling, and we're going to put our pasta in shortly. Now we're going to make one of my very favorite salads. It's my Avocado-Cashew Salad, and there's a couple of surprising ingredients in this too. I often eat this for lunch, or it's just a beautiful salad to have for dinner. So I'm going to start with some beautiful little baby tomatoes and fresh baby spring greens. Look how pretty that is on a plate. You know, just because you're cooking a quick meal, it's still nice to use some very pretty plates. And this salad's going to look beautiful on this plate tonight. So I've just placed and cleaned some baby spring greens. You can also use arugula. You can even use romaine for this. But I've got these beautiful organic baby spring greens today and some organic baby tomatoes. That's it. Now we're going to add avocado and cashews. And I'm using about 4 teaspoons or 5 teaspoons of the cashews on this avocado cashew salad. Also, of note, think about storing your nuts in the refrigerator. It makes them keep a lot longer, and that's really the proper way to store nuts. Now, 1 avocado, and my husband bought some beautiful organic avocados for me. Oh, wow. Look at that color. Isn't that nice? So just chop it up, kind of a very casual, rough chop for this salad. And then we're just going to decorate it with these beautiful baby tomatoes. That is quick. That is done. Set that aside. Oh, isn't that just so beautiful? And we haven't even dressed it up yet. But before we do, let's check our water. See if it's, yes, a nice rolling boil. And it's time to put our organic pasta in. I've chosen an organic penne today. I love that for this dish. You can use any kind of pasta you want. I have used spaghetti, fettuccine. You get the idea. So we're going to toss that in there. And this pasta cooks for 11 minutes altogether. I'm going to turn up the heat just to get it really back to boiling. So let me set my timer for 8 minutes. I'm going to tell you why. Let me just get that set. The reason I've set it to 8 minutes is at 8 minutes we're going to add our broccoli to this. And we're going to cook the broccoli with the pasta. That's what makes this dish so quick. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Can't tell you how many times I have boiled my pasta over. I don't know if you've ever done that, but it does happen occasionally, and it's no big deal. Let a little steam come out of it, and that'll just go on its own. Now I'm very excited to share this great dressing with you. I just drizzle the balsamic on first, about a half of a teaspoon or a teaspoon. Just if you like balsamic, use more. If you don't, use less. Then olive oil. That is the entire dressing. That's it. Beautifully done up. I'm going to put that in the refrigerator to keep nice and cool. We've got 4 minutes left till we're going to put our broccoli in. So I'm just going to quickly prep my bread. I've got a nice whole grain loaf here. This is a real easy way to serve bread at dinner that I like to do. We're just going to cut it into little squares. Cut it across like that first. Cut it across like this. That's that. And then I get a pretty bowl to display it in. And then you just break the bread up into little rustic pieces. I went to my friend Lillian's house for dinner one time. This is what she had as her bread. And it was so tasty. You're going to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to make an herb-infused olive oil to go with this. And oh my gosh, it is going to be so good. Look how pretty that is. Just have our pretty bowl all ready to serve. We're going to dip it into some delicious herb-infused dipping oil. And this literally takes 1 minute, which is what I have on my clock till I put my broccoli in. Just put in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, about a half a teaspoon of Italian herbs, and that is the whole thing. Whisk it together. Use a little spatula and put it into some pretty bowls and set that next to each person's plate. And you have some fabulous herb-infused olive oil for everybody to dip their bread in while they're eating their dinner. So let me set them aside so I can get them ready to serve. Now the ringer just went off. So we're going to add our broccoli. Now if you like your broccoli a little more done, you can leave 4 minutes to cook the broccoli. If you like it less done, then you can leave less minutes to cook the broccoli. But I like to leave 3 minutes to do the broccoli. There we go. 3 minutes. And this is going to be ready to put together. In the meanwhile, I'm going to put together my fabulous dessert. This is my frozen banana creamy. And I love to make this just about any time of day. It's so simple to make, and it comes together oh so quickly. Get in the freezer here. I have one of these freezer drawers. And I've got 2 very large bananas, which I have broken up, and I put them into a little freezer bag, and they are frozen solid. That's what you start off with. And then I'm just going to mix it with some soy milk. It depends on how frozen or how big your bananas are as to how much soy milk you put in. But I'm going to start with 1 cup of vanilla pre-sweetened soy milk. That works the best for this frozen banana creamy. And then to make it extra dessert-like, I'm going to put in about 3 teaspoons of brown sugar. Use more or less sugar to taste if you want a real sweet dessert. Just add as much as you like. Maple syrup is also very, very good with this dish. And then toss in your bananas. Now we may add more soy milk as we go. A little bit more of the milk. And there you go. And there you have it. Wow. Look at that. How rich and creamy that is. It's so beautiful when you serve it. And I'm going to put this into a couple of very pretty cups. You can make it just right before your dinner. Oh, look at that. That is so good. And then put it in the freezer until dinner. And I hear my timer going off, so we're right on time. Look how pretty that is. Wow. It tastes absolutely fantastic. Now my pasta is all done. Look how beautiful that is. You know, the broccoli is done just perfectly because it's turned that kind of really bright green color. And the pasta is done al dente. Just drain that all together in my colander. And we want to get that put over our sun-dried tomatoes right away. And you just toss that right in there. That's the whole thing. Take a nice spoon. Start stirring it around. Look at those beautiful colors. Look at that beautiful broccoli. Oh my gosh, this is just gorgeous. And all under 30 minutes. Now, I told you that I had a little trick for replacing Parmesan cheese, and that is wheat germ. I like to use toasted wheat germ in a lot of my recipes instead of breadcrumbs or even grated cheese. Wheat germ is found in supermarkets and health food stores, and you're often going to find it in the cereal aisle, or sometimes you'll even find it alongside the whole grain flours. Now, please do refrigerate your wheat germ after you open it. Try it sprinkled over pasta instead of grated cheese, or even layered in a casserole instead of breadcrumbs. It really adds great taste to baked goods and smoothies, too. So, toasted wheat germ. Give it a try. Wheat germ adds a nice little crunch. It adds a little color. It adds some nice nutrition. See how it kind of goes on like Parmesan cheese? And I'm going to use about a quarter cup of wheat germ in this dish. Wow, look how pretty that is. That is just beautiful. There you have it, my under 30-minute meal. It's really so delicious, and I'd like to take a taste. Look how pretty this dish is, and really with very little effort. The sun-dried tomatoes and the broccoli against that organic penne make such a beautiful dish, and I just dressed it out with a few organic herbs, and that's really it. So let me just take a taste. That is delicious. And the broccoli is perfectly done. Not too hard, not too soft. Really nice taste. And the sun-dried tomatoes, a little bit of sea salt and the olive oil. What a delicious dish. And of course, my beautiful salad. Take a look at that. So pretty. And a little piece of this bread, which I serve along with it, in this herb-infused olive oil. Gosh, I think this is one of my favorites, and it's so easy. And you can put a little salt into this dipping oil, too, if you like. No better way to eat a crusty loaf of whole grain bread. And then my frozen banana, creamy. And it is creamy. For dessert, look at that. Isn't that luscious? Wow, it tastes like a cross between a banana milkshake and ice cream and whipped cream and whipped topping. I could eat this whole thing right now. Wow, you've got to try that. Thank you so much for joining me today as I had a great time preparing these oh-so-tasty recipes. So please, next time you're looking for something quick, easy, and delicious, think about making this special jazzy vegetarian meal. Until next time, be well.
Visit our website at jazzyvegetarian.com to connect with Laura, see videos, find your favorite recipes, and more. Follow Laura on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Jazzy Vegetarian, lively vegan cuisine that's easy and delicious, includes all the recipes from this season and is available for $26.95. This 10th anniversary edition companion cookbook features full-color photos, menu plans, and over 120 recipes. For information or to order, visit jazzyvegetarian.com.
Next time on Jazzy Vegetarian, I'll turn classic deli dishes into lighter fare. Eggless egg salad is my tasty twist on a delicatessen staple. Then a vegetarian take on the traditional Reuben paired with zesty zucchini fries. I'll bake my famous upside-down apple cake. Join me.